Good morning. I always say that, and I always say it may not be morning for you. It's definitely morning for me. Oh my goodness, y'all. My child is not wanting to go to bed. Oh, I am so tired. I hope I don't make any mistakes. So on Friday nights, unless, there's extenuating circumstances, he's allowed to stay up until 1 a.m. Well, this Friday, and this is probably the third time this has happened. This Friday, he does not just go to sleep on his own. I had to put him to sleep, okay? He has different issues that he does not go to bed by himself. So anyway, if he stays up, I stay up. Well, Friday night, I fell asleep before it was his bedtime. It's, his extra time. So the little bugger stays up until his daddy gets up for work at 6:30. So then he comes in there and wakes me up and lets me know that he hasn't been to bed. So Friday night he was up. So my husband, he had to work on Saturday for a few hours. So he leaves for work. And Parker says, I'm cold. So I got him we have an electric blanket that he likes. So he's real sensitive to sensory stuff. So if it's a little bit cold, he gets really cold. And the weather's turning, which it feels amazing. The weather's turning, so he's like, I'm freezing. So anyway, we keep that electric blanket. I like it too, but it helps with his sensory issues. So anyway, long story long, I'm like, okay, so I plug up the electric blanket and he gets in it. And he says he wants a biscuit. So I walk in the kitchen, I preheat the oven for biscuits, and I come back in the bedroom, he's fast asleep. So he went right to sleep. So, of course, that messed his sleep up for Saturday. It was about 2:30 before I got him settled down. It took a while. So last night, I was trying to get him on his regular bedtime for school and everything. His regular bedtime's 11 p.m. That's just our schedule. So he was like, 5 more minutes. Well, in one of them 5 minutes, I fell asleep again. Because I'm tired. So I fell asleep, which means he came in there. Now, at least it wasn't all night. He came in there and it was about 4:30 that he stayed up to. And what he's doing, he's playing Roblox on his computer. And don't worry, I have parental software on his computer. So I know exactly what he's doing. Yeah, he's playing Roblox. And he was like, I made a friend from New Zealand. Because he's up so late, he's playing with these other kids from other time zones. And he's like, I talked to a friend from New Zealand. And I was like, that's great. So he's only been asleep a few hours, so it's going to be hard to get him up and go to school. But once he was up, then I'm up, and it's a whole thing. So, yeah. Which he has struggled with insomnia lately. And when he has insomnia, that means I don't go to sleep. So my sleep schedule's been messed up anyway. So that's why I have been falling asleep like that, because there's nights when he just cannot get to sleep and I'm up and I don't know. So, yeah. But he's also being a little booger and trying to stay up all night. And let me get started. So, if I sound tired, that's why. I'm definitely tired. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Yeah. He's my little stinker. So here I am on Santa's Village. Yesterday, or over the weekend, I put in these windows. I added some border here and started the border on these windows. And I did take my Santas and make them into floss drops. So they turned out cute. It's just the DMC colors. And there's some extras. These are extras. So I went ahead and put them on there because so far these houses have had like one or two colors different than each other. So I figured I would possibly use these in future projects. If I don't, then they'll be good to kit up a small. So I'll just keep them all together so I know where they're at. But yeah, they turned out really nice. So they were a little hard to get my punch through, but you know, it wasn't bad. Just had to work a little harder. So I'll probably have to sharpen my punch, which I kind of want a hole that's just a little bit bigger. But when I bought that, I didn't see one. I mean, it does fit. As you can see, this is pretty much almost a full skein of DMC. And then, I don't know if I've done it. On my other ones, on my smaller ones, I will hole punch a little, like in the corner right there. And I'll use like extra individual strands. But on these, I didn't, just because I just like the way they look. So I'm just leaving it like that and taking my extra strands and just winding it back through the main hole. So that's what I've got. I don't know how many minutes I'm in, but I haven't got any stitching done yet, have I? Drink. Okay. So let me get started on this. I really miss stitching on Winter Rose Manor. I miss that aesthetic. I miss the colors. I miss doing the little motifs. So I really need to get me another one. The only thing is, it feels overwhelming to actually pick something and then kit it up. I mean, I've started kitting up Moonlight Sampler because me and Courtney from Courtney Stitches Please, we're going to be doing a sale for that. So, but it is a sampler, but at the same time, it's not exactly what I'm talking about. I really want something more like a Hands Across the Sea or a Whilst Iris Naps, or something more like Winter Rose Manor, if y'all know me. What is that one that Brenda from Brenda and the Serial Starters, she did? It was I think called Floral Motif Sampler. That was really pretty. And the other one a lot of people are working on that's massive is, oh goodness, it's like Adam and Eve. It's really big. I cannot think of the name of it. Is it by Kitten Stitcher or Shakespeare's Peddler? I'm sorry, I can't think of the name of it. I want to say it has the word peace in it. I don't know, but I'm missing that. So I really want to find something to work on like that when I'm getting the itch to do a sampler. So I have one pattern. I have a Hands Across the Sea pattern I bought called Tom's Foolery, because it's just a fun and cute one, and I could do that one. So I'll have to look at it. It's a DMC. Well, I think it might have silks, but you know, it has a DMC conversion. But yeah, now that I'm done with Winter Rose Manor, I want to find something like that to work on. So there's so many beautiful ones. It feels like there's so many to pick from. How do you pick? If I wasn't so tired, I would know the name of that sampler. It's big though. It's one that you have to get a massive piece of fabric for. And the thing I really enjoyed about when I was working on Winter Rose Manor is that I picked that Lugana, and it's big, but it just made it really easy to work on. And so I guess if I could find something smaller that I could do, I have quite a decent sized piece of that Lugana left. If I could find something else that I could stitch on it, which Winter Rose Manor has a small with it that I didn't stitch. I could stitch that. Maybe I'll do that. I've got all that leftover thread. There was one color I was out of, but I could substitute it. I'll have to look at it because I did not, that's one pattern I didn't really want to pass on with Stitchy Kindness because I'm afraid that something will happen to it and I'll need to repair something, or I don't know. I just kind of felt like I needed to hang on to the pattern. Just in case. I don't know. I'm like, what if something happens to it, or what if it gets damaged and I need to restitch it, or that's really the only pattern I've ever really wanted to hold on to. Any other pattern I have, I am more than happy to give it away. And if I have a pattern that I finished, and it's not a PDF, like, you are more than welcome to message me and ask me for that pattern. I don't mind at all. I'd rather it go to somebody who wants it than sit in a bin. I try to pass on some of them on my floss tube, but I don't always, think about it. So if I have finished something and you want to stitch it, you just shoot me a message. I'll get it. If I have it still, if I haven't given it to somebody, and if, it's not damaged, because there's been a couple that have gotten a little, like, wrinkly or whatever. If it's not damaged or whatever, I will send it to you. No problem. I know designers, like, sometimes on FlossTube, they get mad and they say don't do that. And I understand because, I understand. But here's the way I look at it. We don't all have the money to buy every single pattern in the world. And if you read a book, you don't throw the book away when you're done reading it. You know what I'm saying? If it's one of your favorite books, you might put it in your bookshelf and save it because either for, like sentimental reasons, or because you want to read it later, or you might have a friend that you're going to give it to later. But generally, when we're done with the book, we pass it on or donate it, or, you know what I'm saying? And the author doesn't get mad. Like, it's the nature of the business. I don't know. And I feel like with the cross stitch pattern, like, I was watching Fat Quarter Shop, and Kimberly Jolly was like, I threw them in the trash. And I'm like, okay, me throwing a pattern in the trash does not mean that you're going to go out and buy that pattern because I threw it in the trash. You probably will just not buy that pattern because you've already picked the patterns you want to buy. And, I feel like you're going to buy it or you're not going to buy it. So, not everybody has the money to buy every single pattern. And I would rather pass it on to somebody who's going to use it than throw it in the trash. That's just crazy to me. Crazy. That somebody would just throw it in the trash. So, yeah. Because I tell you what, I have a floss tube on my perspective on giveaways and what giveaways meant to me. And I'm telling you what, like, people have it too hard to be wasting stuff and throwing it away. That's my opinion. Some people have the budget to go buy, you know, anything they want to stitch, and some people do not. And I don't want to keep anybody from stitching something that they want to stitch. So I'm all about sharing the love. If I have something to give, I will give it. That's my soapbox for today. I'm not paying any attention if I'm in frame or not. Hopefully I am. So yeah, I posted a Sew Sampler unboxing. I will probably use that fabric on project bags. So we'll see. I am curious of what next month's will be. I like the Sew Sampler box. I used to get it, and I really wasn't using the projects in it, so I stopped getting it, and then I started getting it again, and because I was really just missing it, and I wasn't doing the projects just because I just wasn't making it a priority. So now I'm trying to make it a priority. On last month's box was Lori Holt, and I already starched the fabric. I just need to I want to finish the quilt I'm working on now, because I want to give it to somebody, and when I'm done with that, then I'm going to maybe work on that Lori Holt quilt, because I really like it. And the quilt I'm working on now is my Serendipity quilt, and I originally was going to keep it for myself, and because I don't have a quilt I've ever made for myself other than I have technically it's a quilt. It is a Quillo. So I was in a quilt club, and what we did, it was like our first or second project that we made. It was the Crafty Gemini Quilt Club. So this was like in 2014, 2015, something like that. One of the first projects we did was you make a 20-inch quilt block, and it was the Ohio Star, and then you make it into it's kind of like twin size, but not, it's a little bit smaller twin size. It's the width of fabric, which is about 45 inches, some of them's 42, and then it's like, I think 2 yards long. So you just take that big square and you just quilt it. And then you attach the pillow to it, so when you fold up your quilt, it folds into the pillow. I need to show that on my floss tube, how that works. It's really cool. And the thing is, though, I never really used it as a pillow because I always used it as a quilt. So it's really worn out now. It's coming apart at the seams, because I've used it to death. I mean, I have used it to death. It's actually covering my love seat right now. And it's one of the first things, oh, I should have ended that. It's one of the first things that I ever quilted. Let's see if I can find that threader so I don't have to lick this in front of y'all. I did get my beeswax. I pulled out the couch and got my beeswax. And I found a graveyard under there of squeakers from Squeaky Toys, of Moe's that he had tore up. Yeah, there were three dead squeakers from his dog toys. He is destroying everything. I don't know what to do with him. He's ever chewing on his bone right now, but he eats everything. Let me tell you what he did, okay? If you watch my last floss tube, I had these 4 highlighters that I bought to highlight my patterns. Well, when I was done with my floss tube, I don't know if what happens is Stormy gets on my table and knocks stuff in the floor. So I'm guessing it was Miss Stormy that did it. But he has gotten stuff off the table, but generally he does not. Generally he gets stuff that Stormy has knocked in the floor. So, two of the highlighters, he chewed them up. Within, I don't know, 20 minutes of me filming that floss tube, I was going to kill him. And there was like teal, which is my favorite color. I was like, Mose! Oh my gosh! Not one, two! Two highlighters. Oh, he just jumped over. He heard his name. Yeah, I'm talking about you. So, and he is just eating everything. You can't get him a stuffed toy. Even the ones that say they're durable, with no stuffing, he destroys it. And then listen, okay, two things the dog has got this week. He found this little Happy Meal toy of my son's. He went under my son's bed, and we have Lego bins under his bed. Well, there's some other toys mixed in with his Lego bins. So, he found this stuffed tiger. Little stuffed tiger. And it was kind of tough. So, I saw him playing with it, and I thought, well, I'll let him play with it for a minute, and then I'll take it away, because I know he'll destroy it. Okay. Obviously, I forgot about it. So, the next day, sorry if this is gross, but he went potty, and his potty was a tiger. Was a tiger. Yes, he pottied the tiger. So then, I lost my washi tape. I have several rolls of washi tape, but I was using a specific roll, and I couldn't find it. Well, guess what he pottied the next day? He pottied a roll of washi tape. I don't know how I haven't had to take this dog to the vet. He's insane. So, I buy him Nylabones. You can get them at Walmart, but Amazon has a better selection. I get them from Amazon, and that deters him some, because they're really tough and he chews on them. I've gotten him one of those Kong toys, but he doesn't really like it. He prefers the bones. But, I mean, he just destroys everything. I don't know his exact age, but he's about a year old. He just constantly needs to chew. He's a mutt, so I don't know his breed, but whatever he is, he wants to chew everything. So, yeah. You have to be careful. He's not bad about shoes. When he was a pup, a tiny little pup, he would chew on shoes, but now that he's older, he wants stuff that's plastic. He wants, like, lids, toys, Legos, Nerf. He likes Nerf darts. But he don't want the foam part of the Nerf dart. He wants the rubber tip of the Nerf dart. Gosh, what else does he get? Anything that Parker drops, food-wise, like anything like that, he will get. But, like I said, Stormy will jump up and knock stuff off. So, like, my protein shakes, if I have the lid off of this, and Stormy likes to swat it. She does that typical thing where she swats it in the floor. He'll grab it and start chewing on it, and I have to take it away and throw it away. So, yeah, he's rotten. I've never had a dog chew like that. He just will destroy. Any kind of dog bed, he's eating the dog beds. Now, his blankie, he has a fuzzy blanket in his bed. He doesn't chew on that. But if it has foam in it or stuffing, yeah, he'll eat it. We bought him a bunch of dog beds when he was a puppy, trying to find one that he wouldn't destroy, and he destroyed them all in his crate. So, let's see. I listed my project bags on Instagram. I made 5, but I only listed 4 because one is for a fundraiser. if you don't already, follow Megan at the Gem Stitchery. I will link her page. She actually has a separate page. She's doing a fundraiser she is originally from Louisiana, and her sister has a floss tube too called Homegrown and Homemade. Or is it Homemade and Homegrown? One or the other. I'll link them both. But she has a separate page. She is auctioning off cross-stitch and quilting stuff to raise money for Hurricane Ida victims. I could be wrong, but her family, her mom and dad, they do live there currently in, I think, St. Charles Parish. So she is trying to help her hometown community. So one of the bags and some fabric she is going to auction off for donations for Hurricane Ida victims. So I will link all that in the description box. But the other 4 bags I list on Etsy, and not Etsy, on Instagram, and they've sold. I am making more bags. Now, that particular print, I can probably make 1 or 2 more bags. I have to look and see what I have. But I have some more zippers coming in the mail. They'll be here later this week. And I have some more fabric that I'm really excited about that I'll be making my next batch of bags. So I'm making bags to help pay for what I hope is going to be a StitchCon invoice. I'm pretty sure I got my StitchCon form in time, just based on what Pam and Steph had said, the numbers that they got by a certain time. So I'm pretty confident that I will get an invoice, and also just to help pay for stuff like framing, and then just buying stuff like charts and things like that, just to help so that I'm not using my family budget for this stuff. So I enjoy making them, and every one I make I get a little bit better, and I'm really excited about different fabrics and things like that. I enjoy that process of picking fabrics and cute things. So and then whatever doesn't sell on my Instagram, I will just move over to Etsy. I've got 1 Christmas bag left of the Farmhouse Christmas, and it's the one with the trees. So I have an Etsy shop that I signed up for a while back, but I've never listed anything on it. So but yeah, whatever doesn't sell on Instagram, I'll just put over on Etsy. But this new fabric I have is from the Bookish collection. So it has like book themed fabric. It's really pretty. Really, really pretty. I'm excited about it. If I am able to, I'm going to try to do some of the cutting today. But I'm waiting for deliveries. I had to order more supplies. So I'll have to wait till I get my deliveries to, like, make them totally. But I'd like to get them listed maybe Friday or Saturday. Just depends on how the week goes. Because I have to squeeze in, I have to squeeze this in between everything else. So, and I also want to work on the quilt. Because it's, like I said, it's going to be a present. So I need to stop and take time to work on my quilt. Okay, guys. I think, let me see what I'm doing time. Based on how much thread I've used, I think I've probably hit the time. Yep, 29. It's usually about 2 skeins of floss. Not 2 skeins, 2 lengths of floss. And it's about 25 to 30 minutes. So it's coming together. When I finish these windows, I can start filling this in and working on the roof. And once this house is done, you know, it's just this border down here, the border up here, and snowflakes. So it's coming together. Alright guys, I hope you have an awesome day, and I will catch up with you guys in a couple days. Bye.